Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning live stream, the last one of 2021.
Good morning, Georgiana. Yes, and I know you're ready for the new year, just like I am.
Not
What?
ready, but I'm good to go.
Yeah, well, I think that the word ready is kind of strong. But we want to come in with so much motivation that why not? Let's
We should
just,
ready to tackle it, but not ready. Like all my stuff on my to-do list haven't been done, but we're getting there.
yeah, the excitement is definitely there.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna talk about preparing for your new year today. I see Romer, Stacy, and Letitia already in the chat box. So join in this conversation, guys, as we're going through this list. Share some of the things that you do to prepare for the new year. Some of the things that maybe your goals are for the new year. Let's get this chat going. Hey, Tracy, welcome. So, Millie, you want to kick us off?
Well, I have so many things that I really like to cover. We don't have a lot of time, but I want to go on, the part that I'm most passionate about, and those are goals and a vision board. And
Yeah.
and that was your first priority too. But I love vision boards. So for me, preparing for the new year, coming in with excitement is to have a vision board, something that I can see, that I can feel, something that I can look at, and then looking back at what was not accomplished the year before, and that's okay if it was not accomplished. If it's still important to you, just leave it there and just add some new ones. So for me, goals and vision board are super important. And I want to share this quote from Tony Robbins, and he says that goals are like magnets that attract things that makes them come true.
Mm.
So that's so powerful.
Yeah.
What would be your next one, Georgiana?
Well, to kind of riff off of the goals, I agree. I have a vision board that I keep. I made it in Canva, so those of you who are thinking, oh, I don't have time to do a vision board. It doesn't have to be anything huge. I do have one that I made, but it's even if you just write out your goals every year. In the front of my planner, I have a section to write my goals. Some of the goals change. Some of the times I have to push back the date. Sometimes I look at it and I really revise, but like right now at this stage, I'm usually at the point where I'm looking back at the goals that I set last year. I'll be honest with you guys, I do this every quarter. So every 3 months, I review my progress because a lot of us wait till the last minute and then we're trying to like, oh, wait, what was my goal this year? But it's too late. And it can be discouraging. So this is actually something that I do at the beginning of every 3 months. This is the end of the year. So it's sort of like a big review. So I'll review my mini reviews for the last 4 quarters, and I'll also review my big goal for the next year. But at the front of my calendar, every year I always write out what my goals are for that year. So I do have my dream board that I keep in my planner, but I also have, let me just pick up the whole board. But I also have a section where I write out what I want to accomplish, like what are the top 3 things, and I say I, Georgiana, must achieve my goal to blah 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 by date blah blah blah, and we'll get into how to build your goal. But you know whether it's a visual or written, I like both. And I like to have it somewhere that's on you. My vision board is also the background for my cell phone, which is not here. But, something that you can keep in front of you. I see Letty says her boards are made with bling because she wants them to shine. So I know that she's putting that passion into her board so that she can, she's always going to want to look at it because it's blinged out. Roller said she's worked on her last night. I see Letty sharing her goals. I know Letty's also big on planners and paper. But even if you're not a planner person, I mean, all of us today, most of us have a cell phone. They're calendar apps, they're note taking apps. You can clip a note. I don't want to show you too much information, but you can clip. Let me see. I kind of have like a little section on my phone. This little white box. It's probably better that you don't see the details. That little box are the goals that I've set. Some of them are from last year that I've triggered to come in. Okay, new year. These are the things that you need to do. So
I love that. That's a great tip to go over, 4 times a year over your goals, and and decide, yes,
Keeps
what
you
it is
from,
that we gotta stay focused. Like, uh-oh, what happened to this here?
I mean, how many of us,
Or this was achieved, so you celebrate.
you celebrate? Yeah. Oh, I did that. And to be honest with you, sometimes I'll set my goal towards one thing and I'll add, there'll be something else that I achieved that I didn't plan for it, but I count it as an achievement. Put those things in there too.
Yes, and do celebrate, because when you celebrate, you just, raise your excitement and makes you want to do more because you think that it's worth it what you're doing. So, and everything works out as long as you really know what you want.
Yeah.
So,
Set
um,
those goals. And we should probably, um, are you guys all familiar with SMART goals? Let us know in the chat box if you know what SMART stands for. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle to remember what the acronym stands for, but SMART goals are also super important. So, not just saying, okay, this year I want to lose weight. You have to be more specific, like how much weight, by when, how,
mhm,
what action steps are you going to take to do that? Or, this year I want to grow my customer base. Okay,
mhm,
by how many? How many counts as growth? By when do you want to do it? And how are you going to do it? You
yeah.
know,
So we do, Georgiana, you want to tell them what smart means?
Letty said no,
What
tell
this
me.
says,
You
yes.
guys know that. Okay, well, Letty gets a pass because she's new. But you guys who have been doing this with us for years, you guys know SMART goals. We talked
Mhm,
about it. And I think it's Sue who has my planner, but it's a SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time based. So when I say specific goals, it's like, what exactly do you want to do? Do you,
mhm,
instead of like, oh, I want to lose weight, you pull that thing down out of the clouds, like, okay, and you give it sustenance. I want to lose X amount of pounds by such and such a date. Measurable, how many? What
mhm.
is it going to take to be accomplished? The analogy I always use is like people will say, I want to make a little money. 5 cents is little money. Was that your goal?
Yeah.
Is it 500, 100, 1,000, half a million? What's a little money to you? It's different to everybody. Achievable, being realistic about how um, what your goal is, if you can actually achieve it, and not to talk yourself down like, no, I can't achieve that, it's too big a goal, but instead, okay, if that is my goal, is that a 5 year goal or a 10 year goal? Is Can I do it this year, or is it going to take me 5 years, or is it going to take me 10 years? And that's going to help you stay focused. Relevant, this one I think Millie and I were really getting into, and we're probably going to dive in a little bit more with that. But does it really matter to you? How
Mhm.
much does it matter? How important it is? Is it something that you're saying? And we get this a lot in Avon, where people be like, oh yeah, I want to be a top seller, I want to get ahead. And it's like, do you really, or are you just saying that because everybody else in the meeting is saying that?
I
And then,
want it, but you made a great point. Please share what you just told me when we're talking about before the call, what you heard on your personal development yesterday.
yeah, I was watching a movie yesterday, and the woman said the difference between you and her is you want it, but she needs it. So
Very,
you're not going to get it
that's
because
so powerful.
she actually needs it. You just kind of want it. Like, it would be nice. So yeah, I think that's like, oh yeah, it would be nice if I earned the trip to Cabo, but I'm not really gonna work towards it. It'd be great if it fell in my lap. That's not a goal. Stuff that falls in your lap aren't goals. Those are
Or
wishes.
like, I need to earn this trip to Cabos because I've never traveled before. I would never be able to afford a vacation, and why not?
Yeah, it would impress my family. Other people would start to take my business seriously. I would start to take my business seriously. Maybe I just need to prove to myself that I
Mhm,
can, like, really drill into why it is that you're doing it. And we were also talking earlier this morning about, a lot of reps starting and quitting, and what is it that gets them, where do they lose the dream? A lot of people start so fired up and they just kind of fizzle out like a firecracker.
yes, we're talking about a couple that I was working with recently, and then they were so excited. I had so many hopes for them. They were, we had a lot of planning time, and then all of a sudden they just vanished. And I wonder sometimes what happens to people, what makes them get so excited and then all of a sudden. um, so I'm gonna do one input, and then Georgiana, if you want to, just share other thoughts on why people stop working, and not because of health wise. It's just they, do not want it anymore. So for me is instant gratification. A lot of people want to see results right away, in a few weeks, in a few months. So they start working and they do not see that they're earning the income that they want right away. So it's not worth it to them. They get unmotivated and they quit.
Yeah.
So what would be another one for you? And Letty says lose focus, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Letty and I were kind of on the same page. I was saying I think it's just losing focus. Stuff happens and gets in the way. Like you have maybe the best intentions,
Mm-hmm.
but your why isn't strong enough to keep you, like we were saying, laser focused, to keep you on that path so that you're constantly flying straight. Um, I think people, I think it's, I mean, definitely a combination of both. And it's going to be different for everybody. But I think those two big things are the for me, I would say those two are the major. Just not having a strong enough why, because being an entrepreneur is hard, and you'll constantly have people telling you you can't make it. You're the wrong age. You're the wrong skin color. You're the wrong race. You're the wrong gender. You're the wrong. This is the wrong time for that. The market is too saturated. There's always somebody to tell you no. And that's kind of one of the things I love about our crew of our Avon family, because there are others out there who are just like, hell yeah, sky is falling. But we kind of encourage each other. And I found too, side note, weren't even talking about this, but I think we should add this to the list. Having a strong support system, like being a part of a group of people that you can call or reach out to. I talk to you, I talk to Marcia. Just having people that can get around you when you're having those moments where you're like, oh no, this is not working. And I think a lot of reps do not plug in. They don't do the
Mm-hmm.
trainings, they don't go to the meetings. So when they're having those moments where they're kind of questioning, can I really do this? They look
Yes.
around and there's no one to say, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, trainings. You just touched into something so important. Training and training in our industry, personal development. We always talk about personal development, how important it is to change us inside before anything in the outside can change and around us. So yes, this is that's for me. Avon U has incredible trainings, join groups, um, and one thing that I always said to myself, I felt like giving up so many times. I mean, I cannot begin to tell you how many times I felt like just this is not for me. I will never make it.
And that's everybody. I feel like I have people in my social circle who are not just within Avon, but entrepreneurs and other businesses too. And people, and even not even entrepreneurs, people who are in sports, anybody who does anything, you have that moment where you're just like, shoot, what did I get myself into? Can I really do this? Maybe this isn't for me. I mean, I have that almost every week about different random things in my life. I started baking a cake. Maybe I'm in over my head here. It could be the smallest thing, but yes, we all go through it.
Yes, and just think about, and even you mentioned support, but even support at home is important too.
Yeah,
And even if you don't have that kind of support yet, by you starting to change yourself, planning yourself, because if you're not organized, that's another thing that I must, like, you can have a planner. I have my planner.
we're
I have my
planning people
planners.
here.
Yeah, and I
We all brought out our planners for like the last few years. Like, okay, we're gonna talk about planning now.
and I keep it here. So I mean, it's not that you have a planner or a calendar, it's what you're writing in your calendar, in your planner. If you're setting goals consistently and setting goals daily for your business, you could have a planner and not even look at your planner, and then all of a sudden your planner becomes an empty book that you don't even look at.
That is
So
so good. I would put that with goals, like setting your goals, having a SMART goal, because I'm taking notes on this too. Setting your goals, having a SMART goal, but putting your goals in a place like Letty was talking about decorating her planner. Um, just putting it in a place where you'll use it because it's no good to you. I mean, that's another thing. A lot of people buy planners and never even finish it. I'm in the planner business too, and I know I know this for a fact.
Yes, I feel naked without my planner. Seriously.
Letty was telling me that the other day too. Oh,
Yes.
Letty also knows what I'm using.
I love the color
Letty,
coding. See, that's
Letty sent
fun.
me this. Yeah, exactly, Letty. Following through on the plans. And I think I saw
Mhm.
too, Tracy said, realizing that whatever it is, you need to work at it. It's a business.
Mhm.
You have to work at it. So,
Yes.
yeah, definitely setting those SMART goals and then actively checking in on them. One of the things I know Tracy's like, where is the walkthrough of your planner? But one of the things that I do daily is I repeat my goals. So
Yeah.
every morning I write what my goals are. And a lot of them are goals that I'm going, my plan is 6 years down the line, 10 years down the line, but I make sure that I write them to keep them at the forefront of my mind because it helps me as the day progresses to say, wait, okay, is this something that's going to help me get closer to my goal? A lot of times we get sidetracked and
Mhm.
distracted, or even when you're getting discouraged, you might be doing something and you're like, well, okay, my goal is to do this, so I need to keep pushing through. We're
Yes.
coming into winter now in a lot of the areas, and it's discouraging when it's a cloudy, overcast day and it's cold outside and you don't want to get up. You want to just crawl back in
Mhm.
under the covers. But if you get up in the morning, me while I'm having my coffee, I'm writing my goal down, and that helps me say, okay, yeah, I would love to go under the covers, but I got stuff I need to do.
No snooze button. I have my alarm set. Sometimes I wake up before the alarm or right a few seconds when before the alarm comes up. That's how my body's programmed. But it's important that you do not push that snooze button and keep sleeping.
Yeah. Or I always say I play devil's advocate. Amelie's always just like, okay, Georgie, like but I always say, okay, if you're gonna take a day and do something different, if you're using your calendar, you can say, all right, well, this day I'm gonna dedicate to doing that, but this whole day I'm gonna catch up and I'm gonna dedicate, now we're doing the holidays. All right, yeah, I'm gonna hang out with my family during the day, but when it can't always be night. What's that song? you know, it can't always be playtime. Sometimes like you need to get to work, but have a balance. And for me, having a calendar and having a planner helps me do that because then I could see my time and allocate the things that are important to me. And family is important. Me time is
Mhm.
important. One thing I learned in 2021 was time for your health
Yep.
is important.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody has 30 minutes to go walk, to lift a little bit of weights, watch a video that you can work out a little. So yes, it's important. And to be able to juggle different things. You have a family, you have things that makes you happy. Go to the park, maybe, take whatever, go out on a date or cook with your family. I mean,
Or
it's
even just
allowed. Watch
hang.
a movie. We're talking about watching a movie. There's so many things that I'm sure you can find that you love that you can also incorporate into your schedule and balance
Yes,
so
that's
that your life, yes, it's
yeah.
happier and more
We
in
don't want you guys to
control.
feel like we are telling you to get a calendar, plan 24 hours of work in there.
Hmm.
No, it's about having a balance. You want to get all of those things, like having a calendar for me, for the first maybe 2 or 3 years of, first of all, finding a planner that actually worked for me because I
Yeah.
was one of those people who would buy what's everybody else using, and I would buy it and it never worked for me. That's why I made my own. But even after having a planner that was crafted to the way that I work,
Mm.
even just training myself to not over, and I struggle with this. I saw somebody, Tracy was sharing, she struggles with follow through. My struggle was being realistic about my time every day. Even now, sometimes I'll put stuff in my calendar and it's like a whole list of 10 things, and it's just like, realistically, you can only complete 3 of these things in the 24 hours you have today. So,
Yes.
being real with yourself again, relevant and measurable in your SMART goal acronym. You know, just keep looking back at that. Write this down. Put it on a
Mhm.
post-it note one more time for those of you guys. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time based. Put that somewhere where you could see it. So as you start to set your goals and create your calendar going into the new year, you'll be able to measure whatever you're writing against that standard. Make that your measuring stick. So when you're making your goals, is your goal a SMART goal or is it a wish? Because if it's not specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time based, then it's a wish, it's a dream, it's a hope.
I agree. And also another thing to consider when you're, scheduling your day and your calendar is to also write down the numbers that you need for your business to excel, for your business to grow. How many new representatives are you going to have daily? If you want to break it down daily, you can, one a day or weekly. I like my daily goals, because if
Mhm.
I say, okay, so I have a week, if I schedule to have one new representative come in every day, then that means by the end of the week I have seven. So, how many sales am I going to have? Do I want 50, $100 a day, or in terms of earnings, how much
Mhm.
money are you going to earn for that day? And it's just, for me, it makes it so much easier. I like to break it down,
Yeah.
and it's actually stress free when you say, okay, I need $100 in sales or $100 in earnings today, versus I need 1,000 or 2,000 in sales or earnings by the end of the week. So to me, breaking it down is so much important.
Yeah, and we do that a lot in this live stream, breaking down your goals. Like again, we're going into a new year. A lot of you are tracking for President's Club. I hope, because we did a whole training last week on President's Club. So we're hoping you guys, if you didn't go back and watch that, the importance of tracking for President's Club if you're serious about your business, and if you're tracking for President's Club or if you're tracking, and when I say President's Club, I mean the President's Recognition Program. So if you're already at President's Club, you're going for Honor Society or Rose Circle, but having that growth in your business, moving to the next thing, or maintaining. Maybe this year you're maintaining. Okay, whatever your plan is, but
Yeah.
at least aiming for that. Or if you're going for Cabo, working backwards. So taking down that big goal and making it bite size. For me, I work it into how much per quarter, how much per month, how much per week, how much per day. So it's always like a funnel down. So I'm not constantly looking at this
Mhm.
huge $10,000. Oh my God. It's really what we say,
Yeah.
500? 500 and change. 500 is a lot more manageable. So when you're using your calendar and you're setting your goals, first of all, just having that clear picture of what your goal is and what it breaks down to so that you can relate to it. But being able to write it down somewhere that you'll see it will keep you, and we're going to keep coming back to this. We always talk about planners and planning and calendaring throughout the year. We come back and we touch on this, but we want you guys to get in the habit of writing it down and putting it somewhere, because you can look back and see, like Maladra said, to either celebrate or, as I say, re-strategize. I like
Yes.
to, over the years, I've learned to set my goals. We're a little different, Millie and I, and that's okay. That's why we do this, so you can see how we work differently. My perspective is a little more focused on what what is my job? What am I going to do? I'm going to make my phone calls. I'm going to do my trainings. I'm going to do my follow up. So my training classes are in my calendar. My phone calls are in my calendar. Meetings like this one or other ones with one on ones with my teammate. All of those things are in my calendar. But and then those action steps. Maybe I don't get a recruit today. That's okay because I did the stuff that I needed to do to get there. Maybe at the end of the week I'll get three. Maybe at the end of the month I'll get, all the ones that I want. Or maybe I'll fall short of my goal completely, but I did
Mhm.
what I needed to do for my business and for myself and my plan, and that's okay too. So you have to work your plan out, and it's going to be different for everybody. Maybe yours is a mishmash of both of ours.
Mhm.
Sometimes when I have an incentive, I'm like, Millie, no, I have a goal of 30. Today I need one. I'm going to go out and go to every Dunkin' Donuts if I have to until I find that one person.
Yes, and just like you said, every goal needs activities behind. Because if you say, I want, I need, or I'm going to have one person come in, then what are you going to do to have that person come in? What kind of activities? Like you said, you're going to go, you're in a sense of rush, you're going to go out and you're going to get that person, or work your social media, whatever it is, reach out, follow up, send people messages, whatever it is that you got to do. It's an activity that you have to put into your goal so you're able to achieve it.
And again, make it line up with your whole goal. If your goal is to what I call flash recruit, I remember back in the days we used to have a lot of that. People go up and like sign up 10 people who are
Mhm.
not interested in the business, the sister, the cousin, the goldfish, just
Yeah.
random because their goal was just to get that number. But if they had stepped back and set a big picture goal, like, no, my goal is to make this business work, to make X amount of income, to be able to buy a home, to be able to send my kids through to private schools, to take a vacation, whatever that big picture goal is, they would look and say, okay, no, it doesn't make sense
Mm-mm.
to flash recruit. It makes sense for me to get people I can actually work with,
Right.
or people who are actually serious and interested in the business.
Mhm.
We right now we're going through a flash sign up season where people are like, oh yeah, it's free to join, let me sign up. You call like, hey, welcome to the business. What brought you to Avon? Oh, I don't know. I just put my name, my social security number, my birth date, my address, my mailing address, and all this stuff into the list because I could. So those people need to take a step back and say,
Mhm.
okay, wait, what was my goal? I need to make an income. How much? By when? What am I gonna, So it's that step back and looking at your goal that's gonna be helpful for everyone.
I love that. I love that. And Lisa shared, that's another way of preparing for 2022, your word of the year. And she says that she's gonna work on habits and practices that she needs to improve and
She's a good word of the year
transformation.
person too.
I love that. So yes, word of the year. We had a whole training about that recently. Um, I mean, we have so much to cover in one call, and it's just not possible. Look back at our trainings. If you have to listen to it again to get organized and to do the things that you need to do, write down your notes. Get your calendar. I like to write, and I ordered this online. It's a lot. I mean, I think it's very overwhelming, but
But
but I'm
find
gonna
what
get
works
to
for
work.
you.
Yeah,
Everybody should.
I'm
Oh,
gonna.
Jason's asking for a planning session. See,
What?
one of the things I thought about it a long time ago, but because everybody's goals are
Mhm,
so different, and I know that sometimes watching someone else's plan might be, we're all at different levels. And I
mhm.
think sometimes watching other people at different levels, it makes you question your own goals. Like, oh, is it a big enough goal? Or, oh, maybe I should get again, being in the planner world, oh, maybe my life would be better if I had that planner. It's like, no, maybe your life would be better if
Yeah.
you used any planner.
As a matter of fact, it really takes time to really pick the right planner because, when you start, and I started many years ago with a planner, I just had a regular, calendar where I would write notes, and then, all of a sudden I realized, hey, I need to write down the same thing so that that goal can be embedded in my mind. Um, but Tracy, if I'm going to give you a feedback of what helps me plan my planner, my goals. I ask myself a lot of the questions that I need to create an answer. For example, Milagros, I always say, Milagros, what do you want? Then I write it down. Then I said, okay, how are you going to plan to do that? How are you going to get there? And then, you know, questions like, what are your next steps? What are your daily goals? So, pretend that you are coaching yourself. If you don't have a person that actually coaches you, those things you can do yourself by asking yourself the right questions: the what, when, how, where, why, um, and then just put it all together and create your own goals and your own plan.
Maybe what we can do is maybe on the next call, because the next one is the first one of the year, maybe we can do like a step by step video where we kind of sit down and, like, not in a way to influence each other, but in a way where we, like you said, okay, first thing we do is, okay, we ask ourselves what our goal is. What is it? And you call it, what do I want? okay, how am I, how do I make that specific? Maybe we can work together as a group
Mhm.
to
I love
flesh out
that.
our individual plans.
I
So that
love
way
that.
nobody's like, oh, what, she's going for honor society? Hold on.
But you had
I
to
just
have
gotta get to premiere.
all of you have to have your planner
Yeah.
with you, and you have to go through the exercise and actually focus on what's being asked and writing it down and just continue to practice. You'll get it. It's a lot of excitement when you already know exactly what you
So,
want.
all right. So if you guys will have your planners, calendars, notebooks, um, cell phone calendars,
Mhm.
we can share. Maybe next session we'll schedule that because we're going to be mixing things up again for the new year. As we mentioned last week, we're going
Mhm.
to start meeting at the first week of the month. I guess we kind of feel like we decided on the first week of the month. Yeah, seems
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Would you like to do it for the first week of the month?
Yeah, I feel like the first week is nice to kind of set everybody up and have
Yeah.
it consistent. You guys let us know this the first week of the month, the first Thursday of the month.
I like the first Thursday. I'm
It
gonna put it
makes
in
it a
my
little easier to remember. Yes. I hope you guys are putting this in your calendar. So
yeah.
next week, starting in January, we're not going to meet weekly. We're going to meet
Yes.
the first week of the month. Yeah, I feel like the first week is nice because you can plan the whole month. And it's like, wait, is this the second week or the third week? You don't have to do all that. But first week,
Yes.
easy. Put it in your calendars. Like I said, I have a combination of calendars, but you can always take like a monthly calendar and just write the first
Mhm.
Thursday. That's when it's going to be. It's going to be the 6th of January. And if you guys will bring your planners, me and Millie, I think, can walk through like a walkthrough of how to flesh out a smart goal.
I love it. I love that.
How's
Thank
that sound?
you. Thank you all for sharing.
Thank you.
Look at many consistency and different word of the year. I love it.
Yeah, we could do like, what's your word of the year? What are your smart goals? And then as we do, our monthly meetings, we can also come back quarterly, like, okay, new quarter, guys, how are we doing on our goals? And I think that will also help us stay accountable. Um, I meet with Marcia every once in a while, and we it was really helpful to have that accountability
Yes.
because sometimes things just don't go the way that you plan, and you need that person to.
Yes, I remember we're live. So if you are not clear about something that we're discussing, please, yes, share with us. That's why the live is important. We could pre-record this and then you know, talk about it or comment about it. But we are actually live, so
Yeah,
please, it's all of us here. No reserves. Just ask anything, and
within reason. I find myself lately needing to be like business related people. Wait, I mean, you guys are a great crowd. You get it.
yeah.
Yes. Millie's like, ask anything. I'm like,
Well,
oh,
you could
let's put
ask.
some guardrails on that. But yeah, and if you guys are having trouble, like if in the past you found that you've had a problem that you're struggling with, drop it, make a note of it
Mhm.
now so that next week you can say, okay, in the past I've struggled with
Yeah.
setting a goal that motivates me, setting a goal that I remember. Where can I put my goal so that, what are some options for how I
Mhm.
could put my goal? And Millie and I were both like digital and analog. I'm a mixture of the two. We can help come up,
Mhm.
with ideas. We can brainstorm together. And I know there are people in the chat who do some pretty cool stuff too. So
Yeah.
bring your stuff that you've done to share and encourage other people. But yeah, we
I
can do
love
that.
that.
Great idea, Tracy.
Happy New Year's to all of you. We look forward definitely to continue to have your chats this time once a month, remember. But I think it's gonna be more impactful. We're still gonna be doing things on different platforms, which is we started this to during COVID when we were at home. So I think it's time to just, have them, but do other things in our platforms to continue to grow our business. So follow us in our also social medias, our pages, our YouTube channels, and Instagram. Georgiana has a beautiful Instagram page. And yes, and it's take notes, and if you can relate to a post, you can, yes, you can just start creating your own, and using those ideas to be able to grow, also on social.
Yeah, we do this to help you guys, but we also wanted to make it less of a, oh yeah, we're just gonna meet up and watch the video, and more of a, we're gonna meet and watch the video, and then we're gonna do the stuff we talk about.
I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful New Year celebration. Post pictures, get dressed, get crazy, wear glitter, fancy hats, whatever you like, and have fun.
Yeah, or take this time to refresh, which is what I will be doing. Don't look for me on social media, but I will be there. But thank you guys all for joining. Thank you guys for keeping. I mean, you guys were phenomenal in the chat
Yes,
today. I have to go back and read. You guys share some great tips. Happy New Year. We will see you guys
thank
in
you.
2022.
Love
Bye,
you all.
guys.
Bye.